know it's JEJE Vibe, JEJE Vibe, vibe, vibe.
JEJE Vibe.
You know it's JEJE Vibe, JEJE Vibe, vibe, vibe.
Oh, JEJE.
You know it's JEJE Vibe. You know it's JEJE Vibe. You know you feel the vibe, vibe.
I'm feeling it.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome to JEJE Vibe. You know I got the queen with me. A whole lot is happening. Plenty things are happening. So a part of the things that are happening is that in this before the end of the year, because we're also thinking about our end of the year rollout. But before we go into that, let's put some awareness to Syria. Syria has been able to topple, the rebels in Syria has been able to topple.
Yep.
The sitting head of states in Syria.
Former sitting.
Former, because right now
he has scummed.
He has jumped and ran away.
He fled the country.
A stunning end to the Assad family's more than half a century rule in Syria. Rebel forces taking the capital of Damascus as its leader had to flee the country for safety.
And now,
hey, he got an asylum in Russia.
Facts. First he was on an unknown location. Then later, it was announced that he has been granted asylum in Russia.
Assad has landed in Russia. What does this mean for the Syrian rebels?
Bridget, good morning. It means that the rebels have been able to achieve their goal, which is to get rid of Bashar al-Assad and to topple his regime. It was a swift, it was a startling and quite surprising final push on the Syrian capital, Damascus, happening in the early hours of this morning, local time. It's now almost a full day since we have heard that the Syrian rebel forces were advancing on Damascus and preparing to take control of the capital city. And it caps off what has been only about a week or so of very intense fighting, but fighting that has led to the very quick capture of a number of key cities throughout the country, starting with Aleppo in the north of Syria, the second largest city in the country, heading down a highway through the cities of Hama and Homs before getting into Damascus. And there was one plane spotted in Syrian airspace as those rebel fighters started to encircle Damascus, and that is believed to be the plane which has now deposited Bashar al-Assad and members of his family in Russia, where the Russian government has given them humanitarian asylum there. So this has been a very significant change.
But going back to what's happening in Syria,
14 regions came together after over a decade of war, torn, amazing,
pain, sadness, crazy. At least they can start to rebuild. So
a lot of them have been saying that they're going home.
They're going home.
Their home country.
They're happy to go back home.
Even with the fact that their future is uncertain.
Very uncertain.
They're betting on it.
نحن فرحتنا لا توصف، نتمناها لكل سوري شريف انه يعيش اللحظات السعيده يلي صرنا محرومين منها والوقت خلينا هالدنيا.
Exile and after the end of the war between the rebels and the Assad regime.
But they're happy. At least they can decide their future
on their own.
Not under someone who is seen as a dictator.
So this was a lightning incursion by rebel forces who, after a 13-year civil war, managed in 13 days to topple the Assad family regime after decades in power. Talk to us about the significance of this.
It's a watershed moment in the history of Syria and really the entire Middle East, and especially the history of Middle East authoritarianism. Hafez al-Assad seized power in 1970 and created a brutal, cruel authoritarian regime that ruled Syrians through fear, silence, and corruption for decades. Syrians poured into the streets in 2011 on the backdrop of the Arab Spring to call for freedom and dignity. They met with ferocious government repression that eventually had this uprising evolve into a war that has gone on for years and years. Many throughout the world lost hope that Syrians would ever succeed in overthrowing this dictatorship, and Syrians proved the world wrong. Despite over 500,000 dead, some 15 million displaced, total destruction of so much infrastructure, entire cities flattened. Syrians never gave up the dream of a free homeland, of living with dignity in their country, of reclaiming Syria from the Assad family rule. And they showed the world that they could do it. And that's what they did this weekend.
So Syria is going to be paving their way forward, and we'll see how it plays out. Blessings from JEJE Vibe. If you like the video, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe to the channel. You know it's JEJE Vibe.
Oh, JEJE.
If you're new, tell a friend that JEJE Vibe is a place to be. JEJE Vibe,
JEJE Vibe.
You know it's JEJE Vibe, JEJE Vibe, vibe.
It's JEJE Vibe.
You know it's JEJE Vibe.